Here we go again. I think we live on every platform. I'm waiting on Facebook right now. I think we live on every platform right now. Let me adjust my camera, make sure y'all can see me clearly. Hope everybody's having a great day. What day of the week is it? Man, they all start blending together for me. Today is Thursday. As y'all are checking in, Dre Baldwin, what's good, my man? As y'all check in, go ahead and shout yourselves out in the comment section. We're gonna get into this conversation right here. Y'all see what the topic is. Today I'm gonna give y'all, you already see what I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna explain it in a minute. I'm gonna give everybody like 30, 45 seconds to come in, check in, so we can get started. So I don't wanna get nothing away. I'm gonna give everybody just a little bit of time to get in here. It is 4:29 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, October 8th, 2020. Right now in Miami, Florida, it is a warm and sunny, 84 degrees outside with a UV index of 3.0, wind speeds 10 miles per hour coming from the east. So as y'all are checking in, shout yourselves out and let's get into this. Vanessa Rabbit said, you just started following up my content. You're in the right place, Vanessa. Congratulations to you. Welcome to the show. You are in the right place at the right time, and I guarantee you are the right person for this whole work on your game universe that you have just walked into. I guarantee you won't leave. So as y'all are checking in, as everybody's checking in, shout yourselves out in the comment section. We're going to get into this right now. Whoever's in here, shout yourself out. Tell me your name and where you're checking in from. I guess I tell y'all what to say. We got Chicago in the house. Brandon Joseph is in the building. If you're on Facebook or Periscope, people don't comment as much on those platforms. But if you're on one of those, go ahead and shout yourselves out. Facebook, usually people come in like hours later after the live is over. But it's all good. Better late than never, but never late is better. But anyway, Toronto Scarborough's in the house. For those of you who don't know me, or you're not quite sure who I am, my name is Dre Baldwin. Many know me as Dre all day. I'm a former 9-year professional athlete. I've written 27 books. Yes, that number is not an exaggeration. I've done 4 TED Talks. I've published over 15,000 pieces of content to the internet between written audio and video content. That's not even counting these lives. It's not counting tweets or Instagram posts. But over the last 15 years, I've formulated this whole philosophy, this brand called Work on Your Game, and I turned it into a business. What it's about is taking the mental game tools that you need to succeed in the sports world and showing you how those same tools can be applied in the business world and the life world. I don't play basketball anymore. I'm a full-time CEO, owner of my company, and I work with mostly, to this day, entrepreneurs, but still, of course, the athletes. So shout out to the athletes out there. I'm always going to be connected to the sports world because of my background. And what we're talking about here today is one of the elements. Work on Your Game is built on 4 principles: discipline, confidence, mental toughness, and personal initiative. So today we're going to talk about confidence, but this is also a discipline thing, because I'm going to give you 3 daily exercises that you can use to build your confidence. Mattia checking in on Facebook. All right, so we got a Facebook commentator live. So this is a monumental occasion. Mozart Gates checking in also was good. Oh, we got Philly in the house. Shout out to Philly. Vanessa, I don't know if you know, but I'm actually from Mount Airy. So shout out to Philadelphia. So if you're from Philly, you can tell me where in Philly you're from. I know every neighborhood in Philadelphia. So anyway, 3 daily confidence exercises I'm gonna give you here today. Now, I've done 2 TED Talks on confidence. I talk about confidence in this book right here. I'll tell you about this later. I did a whole chapter on confidence in this book right here. I'll tell you about this later. On Periscope, Facebook, y'all can't see this, but I'm talking about this book here and this book here. And y'all learn about those in a minute. But the thing about confidence, a lot of times when people are talking about it, we're talking about it in intangibles, right? Think this way and do this and write this down and believe this and you can do this and you can do that. They're very intangible, they're very airy. It's hard to kind of nail down exactly what you're supposed to do with these situations. Somebody asked about playing overseas. Get my book, go to balloverseas.com. I'll talk about that at the end of this live, CJ, so just stay tuned and I'll answer all questions at the end. Anybody who has a question, I will answer it at the end. So when it comes to confidence, what I'm gonna give you here today are 3 tangible things that you can do. I'm talking about actual actions that you can take right now. You can start doing these right now to start building your confidence, and you can do these every single day. So it's a confidence thing because it will help build your self-belief. It's a discipline thing because as long as you remember, you can make this a habit and you can do these all the time. So is anybody interested in that? Learning some things you can start doing today that will help build your confidence. These are action-based. These are action-oriented things. You can do these. It's not just thinking things. It's not just writing stuff down. And the stuff that I'm going to say here today, all right, any of you who has ever had a challenge with confidence, understand that the things that I'm going to talk about are the inverse of a lot of stuff that causes people to lose confidence. So basically, I'm going to tell you the opposite of some things that people do all the time that causes their confidence to go down. I'm going to tell you why to start doing these other things that will make your confidence go up. and how to actually start doing them. So I'm going to point them out. I'm going to explain them. I'm going to tell you how people make mistakes with them. Then I'm going to tell you how to do it right. And I'm going to tell you why these things matter. Everybody understand that? Let's get right into it, because I think you do. So the first thing, number one thing you can do to start building your confidence is stop avoiding things. This is probably the number, and man, there's so many different things people do to kill their confidence. I can't even say it's number one. There are 1,000 things people do to kill their confidence. I could talk about this all day. But one of the main things people do that really hurts their confidence, they avoid stuff. In other words, when I say avoid stuff, people have things on their mind that they need to say to a certain person, and they're right there in front of the person, but they don't say it. People have things that they want to do, and they know they could do it. The opportunity's there to do it, but for whatever reason, they have this internal resistance, and they don't do it. People see a situation that they believe something needs to be done, something needs to be said, something needs to be changed. They're just not feeling the situation, but for whatever reason, they don't do anything. Has any of you ever found yourself in this position? You knew there was something that needed to be done, something needed to be said, something needed to be changed, but for whatever reason, maybe because you were nervous, maybe because you didn't want to do the work, maybe because you were tired, maybe because you didn't want to deal with any kind of backlash or challenge from other people, you just allowed the situation to stay exactly as it was. You allowed the status quo to remain in place because you just didn't want to deal with the discomfort of addressing a situation. I see people do this every single day. And when you avoid addressing a situation that you know you're supposed to do something about, that causes your confidence to go down. And let me explain to you why. And this has nothing to do with the other person. It has nothing to do with the team or the business or the company or the person you're in a relationship with. It has nothing to do with the other person or other people. The reason why this hurts your confidence is just think about this. Let's say you're at work and there's a coworker who has this annoying habit that you really don't like. They're always doing something you don't like. Your boss is doing something you don't like. Your significant other is doing something that you're really not feeling, or something happening in your neighborhood. You don't like the people next door always playing loud music when you're trying to go to sleep. There's certain things you just don't like, and you know that you don't like them. You told yourself you don't like them, and you know that the only way they're going to change is if you address them. But then you, overthinking the situation, becoming too self-conscious, you don't say anything, you don't do anything, you allow that situation to continue. Again, understand something. I talked about this a couple days ago. There's a difference, ladies and gentlemen, between acceptance and tolerance. Acceptance means understanding that you can't control 99% of circumstances in life. You can't control the weather, you can't control what other people do, you can't control what somebody else says, you can't control if somebody leaves a nasty comment on your post online. You can't control those things. So you can accept the fact that other people are going to do what they do and feel how they feel. Now, tolerance means seeing something that you don't like and just allowing it to continue because you don't want to do nothing about it. Those are two completely different things. Acceptance means understanding that the world is the world and you can't control anything but yourself. Tolerance is when you see certain things that you could change, but you choose to do nothing about it. You allow yourself to tolerate these things. And those are completely different levels to the game when we're talking about accepting and tolerating. I accept other people as they are, but I don't tolerate them. Somebody asked me the other day here in my live, they said, Dre, well, what do you feel about allowing people to have their opinions on social media, but at the same time, should you argue with them and somebody comes in your comments and they're being negative and things like that? And I told them, no, I will block a motherfucker quick. I've been blocking people for years. I will block a motherfucker so fast they won't even know what the hell happened. I accept the fact that you can have your opinion. That doesn't mean I have to tolerate your opinion, especially if it's on my content in which I'm in control. So there's a huge difference between the two. So again, you can accept the fact that somebody has a habit. You don't like the fact that your coworker is always smacking gum and chewing gum with their mouth open. You ever hear somebody chewing gum with their mouth open as if that other people are not annoyed by that shit? I remember I was at a wedding one time. Let me tell y'all this story. I was at a wedding and I was in the wedding. Now, y'all know, if any of you been to a wedding, at least in the United States, all the groomsmen, they line up like behind the groom, right? So I'm standing in the line and we're like in size order. So there's a guy behind me, he was just a little bit taller than me, and I guess he wanted his breath to smell good. So he starts chewing gum right before the wedding begins. And this dude's chewing gum with his mouth open, and we're standing there during the ceremony. So the preacher's talking and all this, and this dude is chewing gum with his fucking mouth open right behind me, and he's a little bit taller than me. So his mouth is like right next to my fucking ear. The whole goddamn wedding, this dude is chewing his gum. Now I couldn't do anything because the wedding is going on, so I had to accept it because he chose to do that. But I did later on when it was over, like, yo, dude, and I knew the dude. I'm like, yo, what is you doing with that gum, man? I couldn't tolerate it. So there's a difference between acceptance and tolerance, and y'all just need to understand that. And what happens to cause people to lower their confidence is when you have accepted something, but then you continue to tolerate it, even though you realize that you don't like it. So my point here is stop avoiding things. I remember I was out this building that I used to live in, not the building that I'm in now, but once I was walking around the back of the building, and I saw one of the property managers. And y'all don't know what a property manager is. They're like the people who work in the office of a building. They know everybody who lives there because they saw you when you moved in. You walk past the office all the time. They know you. So they'll wave, say hi, whatever. And I remember I'm walking in the back and I see the property woman manager. She was like the main boss woman. She knows everybody in the building. White woman. And I know she didn't have much experience with black guys, but she knew who I was. It ain't like she thought I was some random straggler in the street. And she completely avoided making eye contact with me and went all the way around like on the sidewalk so that she didn't have to come across me. For whatever reason, she just didn't want to make eye contact. And I don't think she hated me. We didn't have any negative situation. I remember thinking about that, and I still remember it to this day. Like, why was this woman avoiding me? And I think it was I just think she wasn't very confident talking to people who looked like me. I don't think she was lacking confidence total in life. Actually, she probably was. But that was just something that I remember. But all of you can think of your own situations. When have you avoided something that you knew you should have said something? When have you been in public and somebody did something that you really didn't like? You thought it was rude. You thought somebody maybe stepped on your foot. They didn't say excuse me. You thought somebody was just being inconsiderate and you didn't know them. And maybe you wanted to, avoid confrontation. You didn't want to stir up any negative energy. Maybe you were worried that they would get hostile or get nasty with you. So you just allowed that thing to happen. You just allowed that to go on and didn't say anything. Here's the problem with doing that is that every single time you're thinking that something's wrong, but you do nothing, you choose to tolerate it, you're lowering your own confidence because you are telling yourself, this is something that I don't like, but I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to let that go. I'm just going to tolerate that and allow it to continue to perpetuate itself in my life. Now, there is a fine line in this. There are times in life when I'm not telling you here, let me be clear. This doesn't mean you need to go out and become, super aggressive individual, just going at everybody, starting conflict with everybody, arguing with people just so everything in life goes exactly your way. All right, there is a balance between sometimes you can just have something be going on, and since it's not really going to affect you that much, it doesn't have a big bearing on your life, you're only going to be standing here for 5 minutes, you can let it go and allow things to continue. For example, when I was at that wedding and my man was chewing gum behind my ear, I wasn't going to interrupt the ceremony and be like, yo, stop chewing that gum, because it wasn't about me. It was this other guy's day and his wife's day, his wife-to-be's day, so I didn't interrupt it. So I had to let that go for the 10 minutes we were standing there. And then later on, I told the dude, like, yo, what was good with that gum you was chewing in my ear? But the whole point is this. Stop avoiding things. You know what you've been avoiding. And I'm not talking about just some small thing that's like 2 minutes long. I'm talking about for the last 2 years of your life. What have you been avoiding? What are the things that you haven't been saying that have been on your mind? You think about them every day, but you don't say nothing because you have weakened yourself by allowing yourself to tolerate stuff that you don't like. All right, you already know what these are. I don't have to talk about this anymore. Stop tolerating things, okay? Accept things, but do not tolerate them. Stop avoiding stuff that needs to be addressed. Point number 2. Topic here today, for those who came in the middle of this, I'm giving you 3 daily confidence exercises you can start using. Number 2, this goes hand in hand with what I just talked about. Make eye contact with people. Now, this one might seem a little bit strange to you all. And I know a lot of us nowadays, we do a lot of our interacting on the internet. We're not actually interacting with people live, especially now we got COVID. Everybody's in the house, but people starting to go outside again, right? When you are outside, and the first person I heard talk about this was Tim Ferriss, who's the author of a 4-hour series of books. And Tim Ferriss talked about this, that to build up your confidence, I forget what he called it. It was like the eye contact test or something like that. He said, when you're out in public, make eye contact with people. And when they look back at you, don't break eye contact. You keep looking at them until they stop looking. And the reason why you do this is because he explained it much better than I'm going to explain it right now, the way he articulated it. But his point was, this helps build confidence in you, that you're willing to make eye contact with another person and hold it until they break it. And again, you can read his book so he can explain why he said this, because I don't remember what he said. But go try it. And I bet you'll notice, first of all, the first time you try it, you're probably going to fail at it. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. You're going to feel nervous. You might feel challenged. You might feel a lack of confidence. You might feel weak. And look, you might make eye contact with somebody who maybe they do the same thing, and now you're staring at them, they're staring at you, and hey, they might think that you're looking at them like you want some kind of confrontation. So Tim offered a disclaimer for this. He said, if you stare at somebody or look at them, eye contact, and they look back and they get angry, just say to them, oh, sorry, I thought you were somebody that I knew. You're not that person. Sorry about that. So you got an exit clause just in case that person wants to kick your ass for making eye contact with them for too long. But making eye contact with other people is a simple, quick, easy, but not so easy confidence builder that a whole lot of people are not willing to do. When I walk around the streets these days, and I'm sure many of you can attest to this, most of the time people are looking at their phones. They're walking, but they're looking down at their phone. I've walked past people and they never ever look up at their phone to even see who the person is who's walking past them. I've had people be walking straight into me because they're looking at their phones. Then when they see there's another person coming, they'll move and they still don't even look up to see what they were about to walk into. They keep their eye on their phone the entire time. So their peripheral vision allows them to see, oh, let me avoid that pole, let me avoid that car, let me avoid that human, but they never actually look up at the person that they're walking past. Some of you are guilty of this. Stop walking around looking down at your phone, at least when there's people around. There are people around, make eye contact with people. I guarantee you, some of you may not quite understand why, but when you start doing this will immediately start building your confidence, your internal fortitude, just because you have the habit of making eye contact with other people. Gentlemen out there, if you're interested in a lady that you see, those of you who are interested in females, if you see a female that you're interested in, if she's interested back, when you make eye contact with her eye contact will tell you that she's interested. But if you're not looking and you're not paying attention and or you have not conditioned yourself with this eye contact exercise that I just gave you, you will be so uncomfortable making eye contact with humans, even a female that you're interested in, that you won't even get the message. You won't even get the note. Or you'll look at her, she'll be looking at you, and you'll look away so quick because you haven't built up your confidence to a requisite level that she is going to take that as a sign that you have no confidence and she will no longer be interested. Even though you're still cute, you still got nice shoes on, and you're still dressed well, she's not interested anymore because you don't have the confidence. And ladies out there who are listening to me, you all can attest that confidence in a man is just as valuable as how good he looks or what kind of car he drives or what kind of clothes that he has on. Man without confidence, even if he looks good, is just not as attractive as he is when he does have confidence. And again, y'all ladies, y'all can answer this if there are any ladies listening to this, or gentlemen out there, if you have a lady who can answer this question for you or who can concur what I just said, ask her what I said and I guarantee you she will affirm it. Point number 3. Topic here today, and anybody who has questions, I will answer them at the end. This is my last point, point number 3. Topic here today, 3 confidence exercises that you can start using right now. Third thing you gotta start doing is controlling time. The reason why time is so important, in episode number 609 of my podcast is called Work on Your Game. I call it a masterclass, but I just use the word podcast because y'all know what that means. But it's on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. Y'all know how to find a podcast. It's called Work on Your Game. Just look up my name. I talk about episode 609, I talk about the 5 forms of investment. 5 forms of investment, most important things you have and need in life. Time, money, attention, energy, and focus. Anything in which you will be successful in life, you must make these 5 investments. Anything in which you have not yet reached the peak of your success, I guarantee you is because you are void of one of them. Maybe you just haven't put in enough of it. Maybe you haven't put in enough time. Maybe you got to invest more money. Maybe you had to put more energy towards it. Maybe more attention to certain areas, and you got to buckle down on your focus. Now, again, there's a lot of details that can go underneath all of those, but those 5 investments are required for success in anything in life. There is no person you can name who has reached success in life without investing all 5 of these: time, money, attention, energy, focus. It doesn't always have to be your time, money, attention, energy, focus, but it has to come from somewhere. Now, why am I talking about this? To talk about controlling time. Time is the most valuable resource you have. All right, if you lose money, you can make money back. If you use up all your energy today, if you're tired at the end of the day, you go to sleep, you wake up tomorrow, you have a new supply of energy. All right, you can be paying attention to one thing for 5 minutes, and you go pay attention to something else. You can shift your focus whenever you want. All those things are renewable. Time is not renewable. Once your time is gone, it's gone. If you're 26, you will never be 25 again. If you're 52, you will never be 43 again. Whatever age you are now, you will never go backwards to the previous age. All right. Once that time is over, it's over. Today is October 8th, 2020. It will never, ever, ever be this date ever again in life. Whatever you did with this October 8th, 2020, you will never get to do this over. Time is the most valuable resource you have. Therefore, if you want to be more confident, you must be more protective of your time, and you must be more assertive about controlling your time. What that means is, do not allow other people to steal your time or take time from you for their agenda and that time is not serving your agenda. None of you would allow somebody to just walk past you on the street and take your wallet out of your pocket, grab all the money, and just throw it on the ground and walk away without doing something. You would defend yourself in somehow, some way. You wouldn't let somebody just take your phone out your hand and just walk the opposite direction because that phone's valuable to you. It means a lot to you. You wouldn't just let somebody take any of your material possessions from you. Now, if they stole it and you didn't see them, that's another thing. But I'm talking just come take it out of your hand and just walk away. Nobody would allow that to happen. So why do you allow people to steal your time as if it's not more valuable than a phone? Listen, every year a new phone comes out, right? What iPhone we on now? What iPhone we on? iPhone 11? The iPhone 11 right now. So this year is going to be iPhone 12. 20 years from now, what's that going to be? iPhone 32? Whatever they're going to call it, right? Every year there's a new phone that comes out. If you lose your phone right now, you go to the Apple Store and get it. They'll give you a brand new one right now on the spot. They're going to charge you for it, but they'll give you a brand new one. All right, that phone ain't going away. All right, there are plenty more phones where that one came from. Your time, though, this year, today, this month, this week, that time ain't never coming back. So make sure you start valuing your time the same way you value your material possessions, because you can acquire material possessions with enough time, but you cannot acquire time with material possessions. All right, you can't go back to last year no matter how much money you have. All right, but you can make money rather with the right amount of time and the right amount of strategy, focus, attention, and energy at what you're doing. So in other words, let me give you some tangible ways that you can apply this. For some reason, the Facebook connection is giving me trouble. I don't know why. But anyway, when somebody tries to rush you, because there are two ways that you can control time. So let's say somebody tries to speed you up. Somebody tries to rush you through a situation because they just want to get out of it, but you're not done doing what you need to do. I called some company one day. I don't remember who this was, but I was calling a company and the customer service person answered the phone, and they obviously didn't really feel like being on the phone. They didn't really want to answer the questions that I was asking, and the woman was talking real fast, and she's basically trying to rush me off the phone. And when she did this, what I did was, instead of playing along with her pace and what she was trying to do, I started speaking even more slowly. I took a deep breath and I spoke slowly, and I slowly explained to her what I wanted, why I was calling, and what questions I needed to be answered. You see how my tone and my pace has changed? And when I did this, she couldn't speed me off the phone anymore. She couldn't rush me off the phone. She ended up answering my questions. I got what I called there to get, and the phone call ended. It only lasted about 2 minutes. But it was the act of controlling the time and not allowing the other person to control time for me. I controlled it for them. That helped build my confidence to understand, I can use this with anybody. Anytime somebody tries to speed up time with me, I can slow it down just by changing my state, my being, and the way that I'm communicating. It will slow everything down. Now, on the other hand, what if somebody's taking too much of your time? You only got 5 minutes to talk to them, but they want 20 minutes. Then you can let them know. You can tell them straight up, listen, I only got 5 minutes right now, so what can we talk about before it's 4:51 Eastern right now as I'm talking? So look, I told them, at 4:55, I gotta leave. I got somewhere to be. So ask the questions that you got, I'll answer them. But at 4:55, we gotta go our separate ways. I got something to do. Simple as that. That is giving them a time constraint, but it's you controlling the situation. And it's not doing it in a jerk type of way. It's not doing it in a confrontational type of way or trying to be mean or nasty. It's just you controlling the situation and not allowing other people to control your time, not allowing other people to dictate to you how your time should be used. Remembering that time is the most valuable resource you have. So if you're willing to waste money, that's cool. You're willing to waste energy, that's cool. You want to waste your attention, you can do all that. Don't waste your time, because when that's gone, it's completely gone. And it's more valuable than anything you could possibly buy. All that being said, I'm going to tell you about one of these publications. Actually, both of these publications I got laying on the table in front of me. I'm going to recap the points that I just gave you. And anybody got a question on this topic, the daily confidence exercises I just gave you, I see we got a couple questions, it looks like, in the comment section. I will address those. So you got a question on this subject, go ahead and post in the comment section right now. I'll address a few of them, and then that'll be that. This book right here is the book that all of you should start with. If you are listening to me right now and you do not have this book, it's not your fault. I'm gonna tell you it's my fault because I have not properly explained to you why you need this book. So let me do that right now. Let me handle that problem right now. This book right here is called The Mirror of Motivation. It is subtitled The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. I made this book free because I don't want you to even have to think about whether it's worth it or not to get the book. I'm making it free so you don't have to think about anything. All you gotta do is cover a small shipping charge. The book is free. You can get this book by going to mirrorofmotivation.com. Again, Mirror of Motivation. That's the title of the book. Take out the word the, mirrorofmotivation.com. You take care of the shipping. You tell us where to ship the book. We will ship this book to you worldwide, anywhere that you live. Why do you want this book? Everybody in life has goals. Most people have goals. I mean, that's not true. Not everybody has goals. Most of you have goals. And you're willing to do the work to get there. I mean, my thing is called work on your game. So if you're listening to me, I'm assuming you're willing to do some kind of work, okay? Challenge is you never ask yourself the key question, which is who do I need to be? What type of person do I need to be? How do I need to walk into life? What do I need to see when I look in the mirror? How do I need to approach other people? What kind of energy do I want other people to feel when I come into the room? What do I want people to think about me when I walk out of the room? Who do I need to be? Not what do I need to do? Who do I need to be? When you answer that question, this book will give you the frameworks for doing so. The energy with which you take your actions will change, which means you'll be doing different things. Then you will be getting different results. So the way you do that is through the frameworks in this book. This book is 166 pages. It's called The Mirror of Motivation. I made the book free. All you do is cover the shipping. Go to mirrorofmotivation.com. You cover the shipping. We have already paid for this book. I got a stack of these books that actually they just came in a couple of days ago. I got another stack on the way because we got to ship those out. And listen, we will ship these anywhere that you live. Mirrorofmotivation.com. And if you like audio books, if you like PDF or digital books, we got options for that as well. On this page, we're going to give you an option to get the 4-book bulletproof bundle. This is this book on discipline, my book called The Super You, this is about confidence, the mental toughness book called The Mental Handbook, and my personal initiative book called 100 Mental Game Best Practices. That's 4 books called the Bulletproof Bundle. There's an option on this page to get that book. On the next page, we're going to make you an offer to get this one called Work on Your Game. The publisher asked me to take my whole philosophy, condense it down to 250 pages. I did it. It was tough, but I did it. 250 pages, hardcover book. Using the pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. That is this book, Work on Your Game. Look, I opened it up to this chapter right here. It says, what are you afraid of? That's one of the chapters of the book to deal with fear of failure, fear of success, all the things that hold people back. A lot of stuff in this book. I can't explain it all. That's why I put it all in a book, 250 pages. You get this on the very next page. This plus my book, The Mental Workbook. All you got to remember, mirrorofmotivation.com. Now let me address the comments and questions. I will address them all right now. So go ahead and post it in the comment section if you got something that you want me to address. CJ, balloverseas.com is that website. Anybody who's interested in playing basketball overseas, the website is ball, as in basketball, overseas.com. One word, balloverseas.com. Brandon said, spoke volumes to me. Is a confrontation always fine whenever you want, despite how you'll be judged? Brandon, doesn't necessarily have to be confrontation. It's just addressing things. It only becomes a confrontation when people have negative energy. Just addressing something is not a confrontation. It's just addressing it. It's just approaching and addressing things. So it really just depends on the energy with which you are communicating. Money May, what's going on? Zahavi said, Dre, is the pinned comment supposed to be a link? Now, you can't do that on Instagram. So I just put that there because it's easy to remember, mirrorofmotivation.com. But you can't make a link in Instagram lives. If it could be a link, then it would be. Brandon says, people get on people for staring, but they scared. Get on to people for staring, but they scared themselves. It just depends on how you do it. It's not even necessarily staring. It's just making eye contact. So I know I said the word staring. If it comes off as staring, then you're doing a little bit too much. It depends on how you're looking at a person. If you're like, I can't explain it, but try it a little bit, and you'll start to finesse it and know how to do it the right way. Just making eye contact with people. You don't have to be staring at them. When they break eye contact, you can stop looking at them. May says, in relation to eye contact, have you ever been involved in physical confrontation due to the assertion of eye contact? No. I just told you what to do. If you make eye contact with somebody and they get mad because you're looking at them, just say, hey, I thought you were somebody that I knew. Turns out you're not them. Sorry about that. So you can avoid getting beat up if that person gets mad. Sports Lover says, I remember when you see a female that you like, you approach her immediately. Yes. I talked about that in this book right here, Work on Your Game. You see a female that you like, approach her immediately, say what's on your mind. Sports Lover said, what if I approach her thinking she's single or her boyfriend comes out the bathroom or some other place? Well, she'll probably tell you that before the boyfriend walks up. She'll probably say, I got a boyfriend or my boyfriend's in the bathroom. You can say, oh, all right, sorry about that, and walk away. It's over. And if the boyfriend walks up, you can say, well, shit, you should be happy, boyfriend. I'm interested in your girl. You should be happy that you got a girl that somebody's interested in. Sorry about that. I didn't know you were here, and you can walk away. Everybody saves face. Tillman, what's going on? Tillman Givens checking in from H-Town. Shout out to H-Town. Said the drill videos are legendary. That's a fact. I agree with you. Tillman said, if I get the book while on this live, would you sign it? Mirrorofmotivation.com, Tillman. Mirrormotivation.com, get it. Can you get on live with me? Not today. I ain't taking no calls today. But maybe one day I might do lives where I bring people in. But Tillman, go to mirrormotivation.com, get your copy of that book. We will ship it to you. You in H-Town, we got plane routes to H-Town, so we can ship that. We got the envelopes, the stamps, the UPS accounts, all that. So everybody, mirrorofmotivation.com. I appreciate you also. Mirrorofmotivation.com. Self-guide, self-discipline. Question is, best advice for someone who started a YouTube is be consistent, number one. Find a unique angle, number two. Those are two most important things for any kind of content you want to publish online. Be consistent in publishing, because you might have to publish for a minute before you find an audience. So don't you put something out and you don't get a lot of views or downloads or whatever stats you're looking at. Don't be discouraged by that. Do it consistently for a year. That's what I tell people. Publish consistently for a year before you decide whether it's working or not. So if you're doing a podcast, YouTube, Instagram, what's the other ones? TikTok. Publish consistently for a year. It doesn't have to be every day. It can be once a week, whatever you want to do, but do it consistent for a year. And in a year, you're going to find your voice. You're going to find your unique angle. You're going to find the type of audience that's interested in you. And then you'll know what to do in year two. So that's what I would say to somebody starting a YouTube. All right, you're on the website now. That's what's up. Sports Lover said, is it true that the first thing you look at, you're attracted to? I don't know what you mean with that. I don't know even what you're asking. So anyway, everybody, I'm going to wrap this up right now. Mirrorofmotivation.com. That's where you can get this book. If you do not have this book yet, get it. There's a box on there. You can get the 4-book bulletproof bundle, because listen, you're going to read this book in like 2 days. So you're going to need something else to read. I got 27 books, so you might as well get a bunch of them at the same time instead of getting them piece by piece. Mirrorofmotivation.com. Get the 4-book bulletproof bundle. Just check the box on that page. On the next page, I'm going to offer you this book and the mental workbook, which is a workbook that you actually write in. So it's not just you passively reading me talking. You get to do some talking. That's on the next page where you get this book. And on the page after that, we're going to offer you something else. Listen, we got all this set up, ladies and gentlemen. We know what we're doing over here at Work on Your Game Incorporated. We are professionals at what we do. So everybody, we're going to do this live again tomorrow. What I'm going to talk about, I don't even know. But tomorrow's the NBA Finals too as well. So I'll be tweeting about that at Dre all day. So everybody have a great day. Appreciate the time. Keep your hands clean. Wear your mask, because they might still be trying to give you tickets for not wearing a mask. That's what they're doing out there. Work on your game. We out. Dre all day.